Hello there, and welcome to the How to Market Your Horse Business podcast. I'm so glad you're joining me here today on the podcast. My name is Denise Alvarez, and in case we are new friends, I will briefly share a bit about myself and my business before we jump into Reels, all things Reels, okay? So first, like I said, my name is Denise Alvarez, and through my business, Storm Lily Marketing, I get to help horse business owners like you turn your website visitors into your customers. I do that through coaching as well as website design and content, email marketing strategy, and my monthly coaching program called Social Stride. And I do these things because I want to help you, horse business owners just like you, to be out doing what you love to do so that you can be out in the barn, out in the arena, out at the expos and the shows, doing what you love, right? And I know that marketing is not everybody's favorite, or maybe you are here because you do enjoy it, but I know that it's a necessity, right? And so I want to help you and share with you step-by-step strategies, basic how-tos, so that you can not only see what's possible for your horse business, but to guide you through that process and help you make it happen. So today we are going to do that by diving into Reels as a marketing strategy. Why are we doing the Reels today? Because I'm here to help you make the most of marketing for your horse business. And if you've been hanging out on Instagram for any amount of time and Facebook as well nowadays, you're seeing that Reels are really, no pun intended, so sorry, Reels are really where it's at right now. You're going to be seeing them more and more on Facebook, I bet you, because since they were introduced back in 2020 on Instagram, and especially last year in 2021, we saw a lot of Reels in our feed. Now, let me just tell you up front, I am coming to you as somebody like if you said, Denise, let me go check out your Instagram page and see all the Reels magic that you're doing. I do Reels. I make an intention of doing them. And for the reasons I want to share with you today, because I know that I need to get them in front of the right people. But I just want you to know I am like you. I have other things going on in my business that I am doing as well. I have clients that I am serving, and I'm not the Reels producing queen. And so I'm not proclaiming to be. But what I am proclaiming to be is somebody who gets content strategy. And so I want you to walk away from this episode, yes, being excited about the potential that Reels has for you, but also being excited that you have a purpose behind it, right? You have a strategy. Because I know that right now, Reels is one of the best ways to help get your content in front of more of the right people. So I don't want you to miss out on it because you're not sure where to start, or maybe you've already started and you're making them, but you really aren't sure why and if they really serve a purpose other than that's what you should be doing and their entertainment value, right? So last fall in my Social Stride monthly coaching program or my membership, we actually dove into Reels headfirst. We did a Reels challenge and I did a tutorial, and I really wanted the members of my program to get comfortable, not just with making Reels, but also being intentional about them, right? To go find some inspiration and then think about them through their audience and what they could do. It was a really fun challenge because they got out of their comfort zone. Some of them were like, no, I'm not really ready. And then they were on fire, right? They were excited to do it when they saw other people doing it. They were able to cheer each other on, ask questions, and learn from one another. And it was really fun. So I'm sharing this with you because we're getting ready to do another Reels challenge inside of my membership or my coaching program called Social Stride. We're going to be doing it in May. So as of the time of this recording, when you are hearing it, if you're hearing it when it first comes out, we're in the middle of April. So I want you to know in case that interests you. So maybe you've been nervous or you've been unsure or overwhelmed by social media or by Reels, then I would love to invite you to join us inside of Social Stride so you can join that challenge. So the doors are open in May for just 48 hours because I want to give you the opportunity to jump in and join us. So make sure that you join stormlily.com/social stride. And you can join the wait list there. Or, of course, if you're already on my email list, then you will get that notification as well. But I wanted to make sure that up front, you know, this is an opportunity for you to get in and meet some fellow horse business owners, to get some other tools in your tool belt for marketing. And I have a tutorial that you'll get access to inside of there that will share with you some things about how to do reels in terms of like the actual technical side of things, right? So before we get into the meat of our episode, I wanted to make sure that you know those things. But today on the podcast, what I wanted to look at is, what are reels, right? The actual, what are they? What's the purpose? Why should you use them as a business, and how you can use them as a horse business? Yes, you can use them to have fun, but what are some things that you should be thinking about as you're doing it so that you're getting a return on your time over time, right? Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about here on this podcast episode. So I hope you're ready. Let's dive into first the basics. What are reels? Okay, reels are short form, entertaining video experiences. It's that simple. They've been on Instagram, like I said, since 2020. As of late September 2021, they're now on Facebook, and it depends on the version of your app and maybe the size of your page in terms of if they're available to you to create natively right there on the Facebook app. Now, you will need to be on your phone on Facebook to even do that. But I can tell you that as of this recording, I have 2 business pages on Instagram. I have Storm Lily Marketing, and then I have the How to Market Your Horse Business page. Now, one of those, the How to Market Your Horse Business page, it has the option for me to create a reel natively right there on the app. Storm Lily Marketing does not. Okay, so they're still in the process of rolling those things out. But either way, I will put a link in the show notes, which will be stormlily.com/73 for episode 73. And in that link, you'll be able to go, it's a Facebook help link, and you can see and follow their instructions, and you can check your own business page and see if you have that option right now to create them right there natively inside of the Facebook app. But generally speaking, right now, in terms of our strategy, most of it is going to be geared towards Instagram in terms of my conversation here. But as things continue to roll out with Facebook and they continue to expand what's possible, then of course we'll keep an eye on that and be flexible. All right. Now, you may be thinking, okay, Denise, there's so many different things you can do nowadays, right? There's reels, there's stories, there's IGTV, there's live video, right? That's 4 things just in one app, just in Instagram, that you can do. So let's think about it in terms of the length, okay? So right now, as of this recording, reels can be 60 seconds. When they first started, they were shorter. At one time, it was even 30 seconds, but now it's 60 seconds. Now, many of you, I'm sure, know that the inspiration for reels was the virality, right? The explosion of TikTok and everybody loving those entertaining videos on TikTok. So that's kind of where this came from, right? So currently on TikTok, your videos can be 3 minutes, again, as of this recording. So that's a little bit of the differences, but reels is 60 seconds when it comes to Instagram. Your stories, those small snippets, right, that you can see at the top of your profile on the Instagram app from other people, the stories are 15 seconds each. And then IGTV is where you would put more of a long form video. So if it's more than 1 minute, it's going to be an IGTV video, which is a little bit longer, maybe something that's more in depth. And then your Instagram live videos, of course, they don't have a certain amount of time that they have to be in terms of length, but you can turn your Instagram live into an IGTV or save it to your feed. So that's another way that you can use video. So hopefully that helps you to kind of understand the differences and what that means. So reels are entertaining. They're up to 60 seconds, but they do not have to be that long. Some of the most trending videos, are still that 15 seconds, and some of them are even 8 seconds. So 60 seconds, honestly, if you're looking through your feed, 60 seconds is still going to be a pretty long reel. So it better be something that's really capturing people's attention if you're going to do one that's that long, okay? So that is what a reel is. So let's look at why. When it comes to you as a horse business, why should you even care about reels, right? So last year, Instagram actually went on record saying we're no longer just a photo sharing platform. Now, of course, you may know that when Instagram first started, that was their premise, right? It was an opportunity for people to share their photos, to apply filters. It was very much based on the image, right? And then you have captions that go along with that. But now they're saying, hey, video is hot. We know that. So yes, you can still share your photos, but we want to be more than that. So do not mistake that comment as them saying we don't like photos anymore, right? I saw some really funny, I think it was a reel actually from an Instagram creator account, and they were teasing about how people were sad, what about the pictures of this? What about the pictures of that people aren't going to be seeing? And they do still want you to share your photos, but they are rewarding right now. They're rewarding reels by showing them to more people. Okay. So more people outside of those that are just following you most of the time because they're really pushing those. Now, that's at the time of this recording. As we all know, social media changes. It will not always be this way, but right now at this time, that's what it's like. So when it comes to you as a business, I want you to pay attention to your own experience because remember, people buy from people, okay? So if you're on the app and you're scrolling through, I can tell you for me, when I start to watch a reel, then if I actually watch it and I like it or I engage with it, then Instagram, you know what shows next? Another reel. And then another reel. And actually, if I want to get out of that, I've got to go back to my home feed and kind of refresh it for them to show me something else, right? So they're really showing you more of what they think you want to see. And that is going to be the same for you, which means it's also going to be the same for your followers, right? Those people that you want to be connecting with. And it also means that more people are watching reels than ever before. So as a business, if you want to be in the mix, right, you're looking for ways to get in front of more of the right people. That's why we're having this conversation. I want you to be considering reels for your horse business. Now, can I give you a few words of caution in that same vein? Eyes on your videos, more views. That doesn't always mean that's your ideal customer that's watching. You might create a reel that gets thousands of views. Or maybe you're going to get 1 million. But then what happens, right? That doesn't mean instantly you have more dollars in the bank, does it? And it doesn't even mean you have automatically more followers. Now, even if you do get more followers, what I want you to pay attention to in that is if they're the right followers, okay? So the goal is not really, can I go viral? The goal for you as a business is not, can I get more and more eyes on my stuff? It's can I get more of the right people watching my things? Can I get more of the right people engaging in the comments? Can I get more of the right people sharing my information so that more people see it? What can you do to get in front of the right people? So what I want you as a business to do is to create consistent content, which is not only reels, but other content as well, right? Maybe it's other short form videos. Maybe it is just images. Maybe it's carousel posts, which is when you have more than one image. But I want you to create content that's consistent and that is created for your best fit audience. The things that are going to invite them to learn more about you. The things going to make them want to follow you, to want to engage with your content, whatever it is that you're creating. Absolutely. Have fun with it. Be entertaining, but keep that audience in mind. How is it going to connect you? How is it going to connect them to what it is that you do, right? How are you going to connect to who you serve? How are you going to be helpful? All of those things you're going to keep in mind as you're creating your Reels strategy. Because Reels are helpful for you to be seen. Absolutely. But you are still going to need to nurture and convert that new audience. A new follow, a new like, did not necessarily always convert into a new customer. Now remember, we've talked about this before. People buy from people, and people buy from people and businesses that they know, like, and trust. So you absolutely can use Reels to help you to build that trio, to help build trust, to help them like you more, and to help them feel like they know you. But you're going to have to do it intentionally, okay? So that leads us to item number 3 for today, which is how do you use Reels with purpose? Now, inside of Social Stride, we looked at some specific examples. On a podcast, it's a little harder to do that because we're just audio. So I do want you to go back, though, to episode number 61 of the podcast. In that episode, I shared with you 5 social media topics for when you don't know what to say. And you can go back and you can use those topics as inspiration for your Reels, okay? Look for ways that you can take people behind the scenes. Now remember, these are snippets, okay? So you're not taking them on a 5-minute tour, but what's a fun thing you can do that's behind the scenes? What's a fun educational item that you can present in your reel, okay? So go back and look at episode number 61, but look at it through the filter of just Reels and see what you can come up with. Now I have 3 specific ways I want you to use Reels with purpose. You know, I'm a fan of a list, of a checklist, so I want to make it easy and practical for you, right? So here are 3 ways that you can use Reels with purpose in your business. Number 1, relevance. Again, I want you to consider your audience at all times. Think about who you really want to watch those videos. Who do you really want to engage in those videos? Who do you want to share those videos to their stories that's going to get you in front of even more of the right people? Think about what they're going to be entertained by. What are some inside jokes that only they would get, right? Or some things that only those people would think were funny because they're your people. Or maybe some things that you can educate them with that they would get it and they would want to know because they're your people. Okay, number 2. Use your post caption to go deeper or invite engagement, right? So you don't have to put everything in your video. Your video is a snippet. It's a preview. It's a hook to bring them in, right? To get them to watch the full thing. And then you want them to actually read the caption. As you all probably know, lots of people are just flipping one finger at a time to get from one reel to the next to the next. But if you can get them to actually read your caption, that's a win. And it doesn't have to be a book long, right? It can be a few sentences. It can invite them to give you their answer or their experience or whatever it might be inside of the caption and in the comments, right? So I want you to use that. Now, some of you might be saying, Denise, I do that and people still aren't commenting. I hear you. And again, there's a lot of competition for their attention. So what I want you to do is when people actually do like your post, when they like your reel, even if they don't comment on it, why don't you go and check out their profile? Is there something you can do to engage in their content, right? To let them know that you see them and just build that level of connection, okay? All right, so you're going to be relevant, you're going to use the post caption, and number 3, you're going to use hashtags in your post caption, okay? Don't just put the text there, use hashtags. We've talked about on the podcast before how that is going to help you get discovered, and you want to get your content in front of more of the right people, right? So you want to use hashtags that are relevant. You want to use hashtags that are going to get your reel shown up in front of the right people. Now, if you're saying, Denise, I've heard you talk about hashtags before. I see other people using them, but I'm still confused. Then I want you to go get my new guide. It's the Ultimate Guide to Hashtags, of course, created with you in mind for horse businesses. It's at stormlily.com/hashtags, and I will have that in the show notes as well for you. But in that guide, I'm going to share with you some of the purposes behind hashtags, how you can find the ones that are your business or that are right for your business and right for your people. And then I'm also going to give you a few sets that you can start using immediately, okay? So head over to stormlily.com/hashtags and get your free guide so that you can start using those with purpose inside of your reels as well. Okay, I'm super excited for you. I want you guys to send me on Instagram when you create a reel, when you've been inspired to create something from the podcast. I love to hear about it. So let me know so I can share those with the world and cheer you on. And I know that, like I said, this episode is less about the technical how-to and more about the mindset and the purpose behind how you can use reels for your business. But if you're looking for help with the actual tactical how-to, I would love to have you inside of Social Stride. You will get automatic access to that tutorial that I mentioned to you that I did for my members to just walk them through how to actually create a reel and some of the tricks and how to save it as a draft and things like that. But since I want you to start taking action now, I also want to give you a few creation or brainstorming tips that you can take on the road, okay? So you can automatically start taking action. So first, head to stormlily.com/socialstride and get on the wait list so you can get inside of there when we open the doors for just 48 hours the first week of May. And then take what you're learning here and go make your reels, okay? So what I want you to do is look for inspiration first. Go through your reels, look for things that you keep seeing the same audio over and over. See if there's a way you can use that to serve your audience and save that post, right? If you see something you like, I want you to save it. On the right, there's a little icon where you can save. If you don't know what that looks like, Google it. It will be easy to find. As again, audio is a little harder to describe to you, but save that so you can go back later and look at that as you're looking for inspiration. Secondly, take advantage of the draft feature inside of Instagram so that you can work on something, but then save it as a draft and go back to it if you need to. Or maybe you're not feeling totally inspired or you're not 100% with it yet, or you just have created it, but you're not ready to publish it yet. Use the draft feature. It will be a lifesaver. Third, look for ways that you can show your face. Yes, absolutely. Use horses in your videos. They are eye-catching and people love them. But look for ways that you can also show your face in your reels every now and then because you are a personal brand and people buy from people. So I want you to look for ways that you can include your face so that people can make that personal connection to you. Okay, I know that I gave you a lot today. I hope you can visit the show notes if you're feeling like you didn't catch anything. Head to the show notes at stormlily.com/73. I always have a highlight there of the episode for you. But what I really want you to do is absolutely have fun with reels for your horse business. But I want you to remember why you're creating them and who you are creating them for so that it will serve your business in the long run. Have fun with them, serve and educate, be social, and look for ways that you can make new connections as you're there as a horse business, okay? And like I said, send me a message. I want to see your reels. I want to cheer you on. All right, friends, if you are enjoying the podcast, I would love it if you would subscribe and follow on your favorite podcast platform, wherever that might be. And if it happens to be Apple, if you would leave a review there, that is one of the best things that you can do to let other horse business owners know that you've enjoyed the podcast and that it's helpful. Because as you do that, Apple will show it to even more horse business owners and invite them into our community. All right. Okay, don't forget, get your hashtag guide at stormlily.com/hashtags, and you will be on your way to social media marketing success. All right. Thank you so much for joining me here on the podcast. I look forward to seeing you again next week. I have a super special guest, so you are going to want to be back for episode number 74. It's actually going to be a 2-part conversation. So episode 74 and 75, do not miss it. Have fun creating reels. I'll see you next time.